in Niger Delta is in crisis. Oil pollution, air pollution, gas flare, and the oil companies and the federal government are directly involved in all of this.
These people have spoiled my pond, my farmland. These people have spoiled it too.
You produce 100% of the country's wealth, yet you don't even have a cup of clean drinking water.
Since when Chevron come, my children are hungry, my husband is hungry, my brothers are hungry.
The women of the Niger Delta, they have systematically watched their sons and daughters killed by security forces just to allow the multinationals to take away the oil.
Since the oil companies have refused to respond to the men, we feel it is time for the women to step in.
They have taken everything that we own. We must take it back.
We go naked for now. Go there or naked. Because you people want we to suffer. And the way to see from inside, they cannot take on like that. Fear they can go.
If I die today, now naked I take up, so I will go with nakedness.
It is taboo in our land for our mothers to say that they will go naked in the street. It's taboo. That means that every means of protest has failed.
Obodo had a major oil spill into the River in 2001. Shell admitted that they were recovering at least 70,000 barrels of oil from that stream every day. Shell admitted that. So if Shell could admit that, you can imagine the quantity of oil that was spilled into that stream.
I was aware of the oil spill. When I got there, it was a day or two after the spill. There was an overwhelming stench in the air. I recall how horrified we were. It's not as if we've not seen oil spills as bad as that, but anytime we see a spill, we're horrified because we can't believe that we can't be seeing the same thing over and over and over again. This is a bottle that I dipped into the drinking water of a place called Obodo. And you can see that from this point to this point is water. It's clear that that is water. And on top of it is crude oil.
The oil was spilled into the river. And that community is an island, more or less an island. There was no other source of drinking water except the stream. And in order to contain the oil, Shell had to set fire to it. So fire was burning around the community for about 5 days. The land was just empty. There was nothing alive. All the boats by the riverside, they were all burnt, and the fishing nets by the river were all burnt. The air was polluted. That was why somebody who was sick died. That was why livestock died. Shell, they never did clean up the spill. The day we went to meet with the community, it was only the men that were there in the hall. After the meeting, I called one of the men and said, "How come you people did not invite any woman?" And the man said, "How can my wife be meeting here? This is a village meeting. What will they say?" I said, all the boats that are destroyed, some of them, don't they belong to the women? The baby that is dead, does the baby not have a mother? They should have also been here to discuss how this spill has affected them. The women in the Niger Delta are in a struggle within a struggle. We are in the struggle as Niger Delta women. Then we are also in the struggle as women. Because within that Niger Delta struggle, there are other challenges for women, tradition especially. You don't take part in decision making. You don't speak unless you are asked to speak. So while we are struggling with oil companies and with government as Niger Delta people, we are also struggling with our tradition and our community elders as women. My name is J. I'm a women's rights advocate. The women in the Niger Delta are very organized, especially at the village level. There is no village that does not have a women group. When I have workshops, I make efforts to bring representatives from those women groups at the village level that I know are very active. We are having a workshop, a training workshop for women on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So I came to bring you the invitation.
Well, should I come alone, Abby?
You want to come with somebody?
I'm just asking.
You can come with one other person.
No problem.
That can understand. Yes. Somebody who is literate. I bring them so that they hear about these issues, know about advocacy, know about existing human rights instruments, and that they actually have rights. Between 1994 and 1996, I was marketing electric cables. I was not very comfortable with the internal politics that was playing itself out in the company, so I resigned. And when I resigned, I told myself that I don't want to do marketing anymore. I don't want to do business anymore. I don't want any kind of job that will have some shady deals. I started conceptualizing the kind of work I would love to do. My name is Zem. We have a workshop on Tuesday in Port Harcourt. I became involved in activism and a women's human rights movement, and here I am. I hope you remember my name. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
If you're surrounded by water in a community, your playground is the water. I grew up surrounded by water and fish and all kinds of sea delicacies. And then I traveled away for some time and I came back and all of that is gone.
So is this the quality of light you have to work with?
Yeah. There are some that don't even have this, so I can't complain. It's the quality of life. All right.
All right. Power out.
Okay, tell him to turn on the generator. If you want constant electricity, you have to have your own generating power. You cannot rely on the National Power Holding Corporation. There's a joke about that actually, that they do hold the power back.
If you don't have a power generating set, your business cannot move because we cannot rely on the authorities for power supply. It's just not there. Where I live, we could have power maybe 2 days in a week.
I have a little contraption outside. This is the generator. It makes a lot of noise.
You go to a shop to buy something, the noise from the generator is something else. You go to the hairdressing salon to fix your hair, there is so much noise coming from the generator. I mean, it's a big problem.
The fans on, everything is run on generator. Even the government runs on generator. That is why, really, you don't even have industry. There is no industry in the Niger Delta. All there is just the gas and oil, because what they need to even sustain the industry, which is the power, is not there. All the years I lived in England and in America, there was never a day that I flicked on the light switch and there was no light. It is really a very simple issue to resolve. I mean, why can't we have good roads? Why can't we have water? Why can't, I mean, why is that things are so different here?
So no need to say you interview us again. We'll not kill anything. Because all you just spoil all the water, nothing. Without this fish, I not get my daily bread. The day the river not get fish, that they are not going to eat. But Chevron tell we before, say, once they take the oil, they feel here, but since when Chevron don't add over, things got the critical. Waiting Chevron promise us, they know they do them again, say they'll let us work, they'll give us contract, nothing. No school, no good school, no clinic, nothing. No work. Go Chevron say we beg them if they feel employ our husband and our children. They say they need graduate. For only my family now, I get more than 10 graduates. They go tell we say next month. Next week, coming here, now we take all rich Nana. So you can't let things out for me. To even meet up with my friends, they dress are not the fit.
These issues affect a whole lot of communities, all the communities in the Niger Delta. At times people talk about host communities. There are also impacted communities. Every community in the Niger Delta is impacted negatively by oil and gas activities.
Natural gas is one of the extracts that you produce when you are extracting oil. Our Nigerian law says that the company should re-inject back the gas into the soil. What they did was to clear the gas horizontally. Most of the gas that were coming out were sulfur oxide, sulfur dioxide, poisonous hydrocarbons.
You will see a pipe like this, fire will be floating from morning till night. When you pass around that side, there will be much heat in your body. And if you plant anything around that area, you know they do any good. If there is pond there, the fish will all die. If you go to a farm, you want to drink water, you drink hot water. Yes, you drink hot water.
If you were living in one of these villages, it was like staying at the back of a huge exhaust pipe that goes straight into your lungs and the lungs of children. So the rate of asthma and bronchitis and other lung disease, emphysema and all were very, very high.
We needed to create awareness amongst women in the communities. We needed to also create awareness on issues that have impoverished us for so many years.
Please, let's start. We will first of all give a power clap. So let's go. I kept. Adam.
Edem, Oguma.
What we did was to train women. We carried out training workshops so that they could be more organized.
We need to take a hold of ourselves, of our lives, of our environment, of the Niger Delta. If women are not involved in the activities of the Niger Delta and fully involved, we will not achieve.
It is a women's mass movement. It comprises local women groups, all the women groups from the various ethnic nationalities, women groups at the grassroots level.
On behalf of Quebec Casa Women Development and Resource Center, I have the pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this capacity building workshop. This forms part of the activities to show our commitment to the advancement and development of women.
To have a negative or positive impact.
The presentation was to bring out the need for women to participate in governance. Women don't participate in politics. They only participate at the level of encouraging the men. The reason is not because women do not aspire to politics. The reason is because the society sees politics as something that is for men, because of the violence that is involved, because that tradition feels a woman should not be part of decision making, and because the men themselves feel so superior that they feel they cannot be led by a woman.
So what actions can we take to achieve this?
We need to be elected as one of the aspirants, local government aspirants. Again, we need, at least when they talk of something, politics, they should involve women. After all, we are mothers. They should not exclude us. Why I like to mobilize women is for awareness, because there are things we don't know. If not that I've entered in human rights and at the same time I join with women, if I will not lie for you, I don't know my rights.
What can we as women do to make sure that our rights are protected? What can we do?
What we do is, after we present what we need, they have to send a bill to the House of Assembly. When we come to seminar, they taught us about our rights, how we can defend ourselves, how we can live without no fear. Where you know your rights, you need not to live with fear.
What do I wish for the Niger Delta? I wish that one day that we will actually have not just resource control but resource ownership. Thank you. So we continue from that.
And I want us to get away from this mentality that anybody is going to give us anything. Nobody. There is nobody that is going to give you anything. Even your own mother, if you want something, you will ask for it. I said that I wouldn't want to get involved in political activism again. And the reason is just because there is so much violence associated with politics in Nigeria.
But here you are.
Here I am. Like I said, it's a pull, it's a calling. It's just you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. The Niger Delta is the only zone in the Nigerian state that is militarized. There are armed carrying personnel all over, particularly in the oil-producing areas. The women come into contact with mobile police people who harass them on a daily basis, and it's not just women, it's the whole communities that produce oil.
The government uses the military to protect the multinationals, to prevent the people of the Niger Delta who own the oil from protesting in any way.
Let this be the first and the last time you come here to disrupt activities. Whether you are a pregnant woman or not, if you commit offense, nothing exempts you from punishment. If it happens again, nobody will spare you. That is if you are lucky that the soldiers will not shoot you, that you are alive.
Can I show you that newspaper where myself and some other people that the federal government has penciled us down to kill us. You didn't see it? No, the risk of getting involved is very high. The risk that you could be locked up, the risk that you could be arrested, the risk that you could be hurt.
There is no doubt Nigeria is very corrupt.
It's a question of continuous exploitation because the politicians of Nigeria, they are in cahoot with the multinationals. Because let me tell you something. It is only through the multinationals that they can perpetrate their corruption in the oil industry.
You know, Nigeria has one of the best crude. It's called Bonny Light. It's sulfur-free. It's one of the cleanest and purest crude oil in the world.
It's not as polluting as the other heavier crudes. The only way the oil companies can take away what they have taken away is through militarization, through working under military shield.
When we see the preemptive strike, the invasion of Iraq that happened, what we think about is this can happen to us. It can happen to us.
When the people complain and ask the company to clean up, the company responds by asking the government to bring soldiers to arrest the people complaining, beat up the people complaining, or rape the people complaining, or hang the people complaining.
We are going to demand our rights peacefully, non-violently, and we shall win.
My brother traveled. He went to places where there's oil, and he saw the difference. What they did in Europe or in America or in Canada when they were extracting was very, very different to what they were doing in our home. And we wanted to stop that. We complained to Shell, we wrote to them to come and clean up. My brother led the movement, and he was the spokesperson. In 1994, 4 of our chiefs, of our own chief, died in mysterious circumstances. The government arrested my brother and many of our colleagues that they were responsible for the death of our chiefs. On November 10, 1995, my brother and 8 of our colleagues were hanged by the military for a crime they didn't commit.
The hanging of Ken sent a very powerful message to everybody in the Delta to say, look, we are no longer continuing to fold our hands. Now, from 1995 to 2005, the movement was peaceful. A group emerged called MEND, the Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta, that took this dimension of resistance that is violent.
Our brothers and our fathers, our husbands are now in the creeks. They are fighting for their futures.
They are saying we can't wait for our communities to be destroyed the way we have seen in the last 50 years.
The reason why they are kidnapping the oil workers is they want the oil workers to leave. The people believe very strongly that they have nothing to lose.
They are affecting the price of oil. They are affecting the direction in which the federal government is responding to the issues of the Delta.
The women feel that what MEND is doing is in the best interest of the people in the Niger Delta. That is okay. But what psychological impact is it having on the women? One of fear, then violence. The MEND boys could be their sons or nephews or cousins or whatever. But by the time people become involved in that kind of activity, they might not be normal human beings anymore. Most of the women are traumatized.
If we don't take part in the actions today, Our daughters, generations unborn, will suffer for the fact that we did not contribute to try to make change.
To me, Stella is one of my success stories. Having her from a rural community who was so interested in women's rights that she could be a leader to sensitize other women in rural communities.
Now I join with men. I have known that woman is good to go for election. Now today we know that it's needed for women to become a president. If before we don't have such a thought, well, all what we know is to go to farm. Every morning carry your cassava.
It looks like there's a good turnout.
Yes, it's a good turnout and more women are still coming. It is exciting for me because we just had the workshop on Tuesday and it is an achievement that 3 of the participants are already taking what they learned back to their community. The follow-up activity is even coming earlier than I expected.
If you now look this poster they talk about constitution. When I know what in the constitution, the whole book now only he then the right, they know they mention she. So the Abi, then they talk say women no there for Nigeria. Women no there for Nigeria. If women there for inside the book, then go follow right she. Make people know say the book now for everybody, no be for only men.
To come out and be involved in activism and advocacy activities, they have to be permitted to leave their traditional duties in the house. By the time you build up the capacity of the woman to assert her rights, her tone, she's seen as not being humble. She's seen as not obeying tradition. She's seen as a rebel. And it's a big challenge. It shouldn't be seen that way.
Our mission and goal was basically to make them understand that this is the issue. It's up to you if you want to be part of it, to create change. We understand if you're scared. But it's better to be a participant than to be on the sideline, and tomorrow you say, had I known.
So, meeting me as a reporter, as a day meeting, meeting okay.
When you see one person that is so courageous, that contact person will be a source of strength for other people in the community.
We should not be left behind. Women should not be left behind. That each time the governors or the head of state, they want to do their election, even up to the local government level, they will allow us to participate. Say, after all, no woman, no nation, if you could understand. No woman, no nation. I am very much proud because the women, actually, they return en masse. We have agreed that we are Nigerian women. We are working towards progress. And each time they call upon their house, their present, they will come.
So women,
So are we ready? Yes.
Education, has it reduced the risks? No. It's just that you become more conscious. You think of better ways of doing things. They don't shy away from the responsibility that they owe their children and their community. It provides them with skills, it provides them with knowledge to actually confront those challenges and risks.
When this awareness have not come to us, they really cheat us to death, the company. They cheat community to death.
My popular name where they give me na Mama Bata.
So, like how many years you be?
Oh, I don't tell. I be 70 years. Before Chevron come, na crayfish. Na we dey kill, dey live. Where Gulf come before Chevron. We dey live it better. But as the Gulf go finish, come and hand over for Chevron. Na hunger we dey. I got the money for hand before Chevron come. You dey hear me? I get the money for hand. And Gulf, if you want talk to us that time, you go come for this village. We go come and dey meeting together. Sake of we don't turn to Pikin and the mother. Since when Chevron come, Chevron say no they come here. No they get a meeting with us. But the Chevron with us 4 kilometers. But we not get any light to see. And they feel bad way Chevron they treat us. Chevron not like we get our land again.
And Chevron they make divide and rule for our children. They cause our children they fight. Because they will just select some of the children, they will give them money. Then they will make the children they fight. The kind way when Chevron they follow us, they do for them. Make Chevron may change their mind because we love them, that's how we take them as a neighbor. We don't know any offense when we say we offend them, make them talk out. Make we hear. Make we change the thing because we don't know the way to do Chevron.
Before Shell came, we were fishermen and farmers, and we were very self-sufficient. So self-sufficient that after eating and feeding ourselves, we sold the excess to other people and we had enough money. But when Shell came, after some years, we started getting poorer.
No, the cassava be that?
The cassava be this.
Okay.
As you plant it like this, I reach out, go root, and you go to say food there inside. You don't rot it for ground. Cassava, this one, it never reach to root, but now hungry. It gets on land, you go do and finish. The cassava, it not go get food. You not go get food. When you go root and so leg. Now because of the shell.
Because of those pollutions, the gas they withdraw from there, it affects the crops. The crops are not doing good, are not growing. Even if they grow, they don't have better seed inside again. So many women complain.
Uvo oya sakare kede kwa de sabu vona jiberi no jeka wana beri no kan igi beri me panya de wana na beri no kan no iye ne bo pale nga aga no bishel wo bo mo de nanya ono so wa boma onwo so wa awe vere o jara mi ari awe vere o jana no gbere tikere unu ta anu otu ame no rimebu niki na wa niki ne pa beri na nga ora panya beri na were biome e bara bara bere twa ti gwa iga mi woro mfre oya ma mele ta na mi bi so ma ko olorun yin no panya re aka ora ra kare yin wa ohun ya na oro we iso faji ka mi na bora ri o ja wo ye
Apart from local consumption, these women take it to Lagos, Abuja, Warri, these big towns, and they make a lot of money out of it.
And the tapioca they train some of our brother, and the tapioca they feed us reach this stage. Then inside the tapioca, many of us now we don't learn, because what your mother they do, now the tapioca now come they see they do. 33 years now this fire day.
Since when the chill did this our land, our benefit now be this fire.
Shell came and told them to move, telling them that the gas flare is dangerous to their lives.
They just pursue we out without notice. And our popo garden, when we prepared down that day, myself, my own day inside. Now so they spoil for the Shell gate there. When we begged a whole 3 days, make them allow us to do this one. Another day, make we not come. We don't know, say, we don't pursue, we come out. They say they're not the open gate.
I say, Shell people say people they die for Shell. I made them pursue us. I say, anybody not die for fire. Me, I carry belle, reach fire. I they put tapioca for fire. Belle pain me. I can't burn my pikin for there. And the pikin I sit down near me for years so.
That make us feel that praise. That make us feel now. We feel that till tomorrow we dey feel that. Every time when we dey pass there, we dey swear.
To come overnight and stop without making provision is callous.
The oil companies have not actually been sensitive, because if they have been sensitive right from then, if they had taken the aspirations of the people into consideration, then they would have been able to put in place certain things that, I mean, respond to the demands of the people, respond to the needs of the people, but they have not been doing that.
They're all the same, but Shell is the leader. Shell operates as a state within a state. Shell is a country all on its own in Nigeria.
If Shell is mindful of the health of the people, if they are mindful of the fact that it is dangerous, if they are really serious, they would have put up those flares. They are not keeping those flares because they love the women of Amukbe or the women of the Niger Delta. They are keeping those flares because it is cost-effective for them.
The gas and the oil that comes from the Niger Delta belongs to the people of the Niger Delta. The fact that the government of Nigeria says it belongs to the government of Nigeria is something that they have taken away from you. So you must begin to look into this area and agitate against it. You have to. Somebody else, I cannot do it for you, but if you start it and agitate against it, we will support. Don't expect anybody to come and knock on your door and say to you, come and join struggle. If there is a need in an area, in your place, in your community, where you live or where you work, and you think that you can start something, start something.
They go dey pull for it, they call it, we don't talk finish. The thing don't tire us. Make Chevron cuckoo kill us. Now we women that we will go meet them. If you talk to Chevron, we go be like a foolish for a eye. People will not get sense. Now Chevron they call us.
So this matter now, we carry this matter, we go worry. Wait till the whole night, the whole. We beg Shell people open the place for us. We send message, we beg. If we just drag the tapioca finish, we go house. We not they touch you now here. We not they even they reach the yard. They say they're not going to open the gate for us. Say make they not enter the place again. As we go home now we go organize ourselves.
We go find small pikin. Carry this thing, iron plate, take wood, take knacker.
Woman, we dey sit down. We go think before we dey do. We go think. We go come hear each other. It dey take a long time, but no be one day work.
With you, we select ourselves to go meeting. We go meeting is okay, now we talk say we go come and enter the yard.
Wetin make we go fear? If it kill us, make them kill us, make we go.
And the suffer, he don't tire us. Let's say, maybe we could die, we go.
If it happen for now, Chevron head now.
In the Niger Delta area especially, older women were always given a place of respect. They can also then mobilize the younger women to join them. As far back as I know, whenever the women came up in that type of way, they were virtually always effective, always. The 1929 Women's Uprising was a movement of the women against the British colonial government.
1929 was the international year of this great crash, economic crash in the United States, which had backlash to Nigeria. So with the depressed prices of palm oil, the British government introduced another dimension of taxation. So men resented it, but did not muster sufficient courage to oppose the British. Women had to fill that vacuum.
In 1929, when these people came to impose taxation, they did not ask how would the women feel. They came in, they imposed taxation. Before you know it, the women started asking questions, and they decided to rise against it. Women went in all their warfare regalia, painting their bodies, going with their pistols, because that's the traditional weapon of women.
British colonial administration didn't take them seriously. Before they knew it, the British saw themselves serious war called Women's War. British fought back by rushing into policemen.
They now realize that it has become violent. They're killing the women. It's like, oh, we wanted to go and make a complaint, and now they want to kill us. So let them kill all the women. They were ready to die.
My uncle was in the police force then. He found it very difficult to fire at the women. It's an abomination to kill any lady. But now, they found themselves in a colonial system, which compelled them to do that. Sometimes you fire in the air to scare away the women, but the women were pouring in from all angles. And some of them dressed in very scanty dresses, some of them even stripped naked, which was an abomination.
You're not thinking of, pretty girls going naked. You're thinking in terms of elderly women, very old women.
It is believed that if a woman demands for something, or she's angry because of something, if she is naked before the person who provoked her or something, that it is a curse on that person.
Women, when they organize and kill, you will not see any blood, but the person is dead. It's a metaphor. But if women organize to carry out anything, they are unstoppable and devastating.
The threat of nudity was a very potent one because it was something that was taboo and no man would take it lightly. They cannot confront nude women.
That man should consider himself as almost dead. It's like handing the person over to the demons.
That was the single most important occasion during the colonial period when women came together across ethnic divides.
And that forced the British to stop the tax system. So it was a landmark, a watershed in the history of Nigeria.
Through this period now in the Niger Delta, the problems of oil pollution and inadequate attention to the communities and so on, women have again risen up.
This community is a host community to Chevron. We need reclamation for this place. This is why we are on this rampage, this peaceful demonstration that they come to our aid. I mean, if there were a jetty, then this place would not be looking the way it is looking.
Could you please remind us your name, please?
Esther.
Esther.
I'd like to leave it there.
Make you everything dey better. Now make me follow them. Now me be senior for we will go.
This is the small pass this one.
Those who do not know the problem, who are living elsewhere, that are the top men, those are the people we need to talk to.
Maybe daytime we take come 4 o'clock for night. Now we can't take entire. You know, say we many, over 300 women. We come as a soldier. Now we attack them. Morning duty, as they open the gate, as they come outside, the one start work, they come in. Now the 2 women just rush enter. As they rush enter, now they call. We say they don't enter. Now we all just rush come. Now the workers, they run. They don't know what they happen. Now we just take over the place.
Police say make we not enter. We say we go enter.
We come and enter the yard. Now God the carry us enter. Take off. He carry dog put to there. He carry woman be put to there. As we enter, then surprise self.
They to do something for us in this land. What we need, we are not allowing the PA to go. We wanted to do a good thing for us. We need something. They are oppressing us.
So if he goes out?
He will not go out. We don't want to. We don't allow it to go. We don't want him to go.
The role in our plane, our security room. We don't want to make any plane. Any of the office may they open and make plane not fly.
If anybody goes and says stop the functioning of the flow station, it's daring government. And when you dare government can decide to flush you out by force.
Free to take. We are not know what they are. We are not know what they think also when they put that kind of soldier for them. Soldiers when they for them. Now the soldiers they for Nigeria.
One soldier man, he come and kick me, I die.
They go pack army come from Abuja. We say they pack army, cause anything they see safe, make they take her.
Shell they come bring police, soldiers, all this mopo they come pack they come, so they should go. We not worry. The police and the soldier, they say make we take our mind, calm down. Say for that now, make we with share, make we settle together. Maybe 3 in group, 4 in group, 5 in group. We go to discuss how we go do now. Now our people say now they even they buy food they can't give us for many people. Even so my brother says he even still help us. Now outside like this now we they sleep day and night. If rain they fall, we go enter another. As their office, now there we they sleep. You know say anything not there for their office. Now there we they sleep.
They were running shifts. Some people will work to like 12 in the afternoon. Other women will now come and change. Then the other ones will go back because they still had their traditional roles and the caring of their families to do.
At the day from morning till 6, then I will resume by 6, close by 12 in the night. Other people will go.
For Chevron?
And so we just do and we not scatter anything, but we tell the same they don't go.
Immediately or during that action, I met with the Borodo women. We carried out 2 training workshops, leadership and conflict transformation, so that they could be more organized. Because until that action, they didn't really have, though they had small women groups within the communities, but they didn't do it on a platform of an organized women group. What they wanted was the management staff to come and talk to them about their condition. All the demands they made was for the community as a whole. They talked about remediation of the environment, they talked about using indigenous contractors and several other demands.
We have protested for 5 days. This is the 5th day of our protest. We are not living here until the MD of Chevron will come. Even if it takes a year, months, we don't care. We'll be here, this is our land. It's just the equipment that belongs to Chevron.
If we want to do something, making them do it for us, we go pull our shirt, we go naked, and their mind go change. Everybody with in tradition. That's one our tradition.
We have a bad deal, we have a raw deal, we have a rough deal. This is the result. If nobody is going to help them, then they will help themselves.
Say if we not allow we go lick it for them. We go lick it for them.
They still practice the African traditional religion. So to them it's still a tool, and it's an effective tool, I must say.
Anybody, any woman, any man, when he commit offense, if he no agree, receive, say he really what he do, he no good, then they invite the other women. That liquid, when they liquid sing 7 songs for you, they will just leave you. Say go.
If you be white man, you, if you be black, you, when the woman naked for you, you no agree. Oh, your own don't finish.
We facilitate the women doing what they want to do in their own way. And then if it gets to the extent that they feel it is the going naked, stripping naked is the only option that they can get government attention, we will not stop them.
We go need to naked because we be mothers.
Because all woman na mama. All woman na mama.
If we don't naked, I don't know if you take, they don't know if you touch yourself.
Now breast, now you suck big. Now from Toto you come outside. We go nigga for the Chevron, say make it a nuke. Now Toto they born them.
They produce all of us, chiefs and all of us. They produce us from the wombs of the stomach. They produce us. We cannot see them go naked. Culture does not allow it. Society does not allow it.
Everybody understands the implication. If you push us to the wall, we will do this. Because we know it will be a huge, what should I call it? It could be a disaster.
If that kind of thing happen, what will come?
You man, you go wrong. You go wrong, die.
They stopped production for 10 days. I mean, it was a landmark achievement.
And for the first time, because of that action, women were taken into that arm of the police, because quite honestly, the men were at loss as to what to do with these women. Do you arrest them? I mean, do you arrest a grandmother who is stark naked with her flat breast? And where do you hold on to her?
After we don't join them, when we don't take that place, when Chevron come tell us, they can't promise us what they do.
Now, only breast now they see one day. And when they see they break everything.
We stay there about 1 month and 2 weeks. When they come, they beg, make we come out. They go do oven for us. They go do oven for us. We say we don't know how the oven do. If na fit go, if na go fit help us for the oven, if it go last way, okay.
Since that time, Chevron no come do nothing for us. The promise and the promise, and now they can't bring another MOU. The one they signed before, they never do them. They not do them. They can't bring another one now. They say now Glover. We don't want Glover. Anything they call Glover, we don't want that because we don't know the meaning.
The thing called even worst. They never give we say, oh, this now your 2 boys don't get work for inside the Chevron. But all the things they promise us, no one they don't do.
Shell made a promise that they were going to provide a tapioca drying oven for the Amukpe community women. But that's for about 2 years now. Shell has done nothing about it. And our women are not happy about it.
This oven you want to toss and I want make so. Which time I want make am? They say no fit make am this year.
Every time when we pass there, we dey swear. We dey swear for the people when it just cut we off and the fire dey there. Not be say they quench the fire. If really say they quench the fire, say we not they take eye, they see the fire. That's another different. When share comes over, anything not improve from you, because I not eat anything from share. The gain when I gain for share, now be that work when I they use the fire, they work on my own. Anything never come for share, say this na share thing when it come, we'll take your own. My brother, I never receive them. But when we go visit them, they give me mineral drink.
Coca-Cola.
Fanta. I be waiting to eat for share.
Believe it or not, the oil companies might have played the women, but they responded by agreeing to meet with some of them and also to sign a memorandum of understanding. I mean, that's phase 1. It's progress.
The 2002 protest against Chevron. That protest is actually seen as a landmark achievement. But I believe the women would have achieved better if they had proper negotiation skills. We now got leaders from these 2 groups and we involved them in a conflict management and leadership training program. And after that, the women have become more organized. And these ones we have trained, I still continue to work with them. Some of the women now have the catering contract with Chevron to cook the food, their lunch. And Chevron has also provided some funds for a microcredit scheme for the women. What has not changed? The issue of environmental degradation is still there. So they still owe the people of the Niger Delta the duty of environmental justice and economic justice. The next few years, I believe that with intensive campaigns, a lot more women will be encouraged to go out there, and also a lot more men would also change their behavior and attitude to accept women as leaders. This trip is a 6-week course on anti-corruption and good governance. It's sponsored by the U.S. government. We were talking of anti-corruption and the role of women. It's like having that sense of responsibility, going towards whatever length to promote a corrupt-free society. You see my colleagues, everybody was snapping with the man's portrait. Nobody thought of the woman. One of them is noticing Eleanor Roosevelt, who was also inspiring the man behind the scene. Leadership, greatness is for the man, but nobody remembers the woman. I think it's the best for us to visit this place. I'm already inspired. I'm already thinking of what I can do back home to make changes. I'm already thinking of how much more sacrifice one can make, how much more one can put in to make one society or community great.
It is not easy to have an awareness that will take over the whole world, a matter you will establish today and the whole world will hear it. Now that I've gotten such awareness, our own motive of work is to maintain peace and stop violence and rule our community. We women, we can stay and have hope of better Nigeria tomorrow.
See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you strong. See when I fake you, we gon' make you come chop our oil plenty. Can't take
Just to soak someone inside that cassava.